What's up, guys? Justin with Interstate V Twin and Tuning. Today is Tuesday and it is show and tell because yesterday I was running out the door. I didn't get the show and tell. So I'm going to show and I'm going to tell, but I'm not going to mention any names. Short version, bike comes in yesterday, runs like shit. 2018, has stock wires on it. I say, okay, well, let's take a look at your stock wires and let's see, since the wires haven't been changed, they probably haven't changed the spark plugs. But the spark plugs were not factory. So I said, okay, well, let's take a look. We pop the tank off. I go through all that. And jumping right to it, these are the 4 spark plugs that came out of that bike. So whoever's servicing the bike, like I said, we're not going to mention any names. So it's only changing the 2 outer and left the 2 that were down in between the rocker boxes going into the head. They left those since 2018. So this person's been maintaining this motorcycle for however long, or this place has been maintaining this motorcycle for however long, never changed it. Also, when the new ones went in, there's no silver on this. There should be some silver. It's called anti-seize. You put it on. You just put it on. It's not expensive. You put it on for the customer. And when they didn't put anti-seize on, this is a nice dry plug here. This is on this end. You want to put what's called dielectric grease. That keeps you from ripping the boots off because they'll just kind of pop right off. Makes it much easier. Then you don't have a 2-piece spark plug wire. You know, again, guys, this reiterates what I always say: who is working on your Harley? Are they well versed in your Harley? The Harleys are. People say they're simple. Well, obviously not, because this was a shop that did this. And like I said, there's guys doing this shit in their garage that are better off than an actual shop that's doing this. So anyway, know who's working on your stuff, guys. Make sure they're qualified. If you can't afford to go to a local dealer and have a factory trained technician work on your bike, find an independent like us that work on these things all the time. The guy that's jumping from the 250 dirt bike onto your Harley, there's this, it takes a minute, guys, for the brain to process. Even with the Harley stuff, it takes a minute to fucking, go from one thing to another. You're thinking EFI problems, you have to start thinking, when it's a carburetor, it's much different. Then EFI problems, you start thinking of all the different sensors. And then throughout the years, the evolution of EFI, all the different sensors that come into play, it's entirely different than all the other stuff. So there's enough going on just with Harley stuff and the approach for diagnostics versus throwing all this other stuff in the mix: jet skis and dirt bikes and 4-wheelers and side-by-sides and boats and what else is there? I don't know, all this crap, stuff that I don't work on. It's very hard to go from one to the next. And then something like this obviously is either one of 3 things. You would hope it's the first one, which is they just didn't know. The second one would be that they just didn't care. And the third one would be that they didn't get caught. Well, when something like this happens and I've got to explain it to the customer, it feels good because it's like, hey, your boy sucks. Welcome to Interstate. We'll take care of you from now on, because you're getting a new customer based off of something like this happening, especially 5 years of just, you start to question everything that particular place has done to your motorcycle. But aside from that, just make sure you've got 100% confidence in where your motorcycle's at. Wanted to share that because that's just so fucking unacceptable. It'll make you sick.